One of the most common mistakes that I see is staff bringing laptop or staff that have laptops that they're bringing home to work on. And a lot of times when they work on these laptops at home, they basically connect it to the wireless or also to their landline over at home. And after working it on their computers, they either forgot to shut it down or they just basically, the laptop go to sleep mode and they just close the top. So when they come back to the office, when they turn back their computer back on, it just comes out of sleep mode. So therefore they try to log in, it'll let them log in, but their email or their internet connections or access to their files or data on the server is offline. And these are due to the fact that because these laptops are still trying to find the connections to their home network. So therefore the best way to do is just to reboot it. Reboot their computers, and then the computer will basically recognize the wireless connections at their office, rather than bringing it here and not rebooting it. So the best way to do is just reboot it, and by rebooting it, they'll recognize their network at work. The other common problems that I see a lot are basically organizations that are making changes, adding, or removing things from their network. The best way to do is before you make any change, or before you add anything, or before you remove anything from your network, make sure you always talk to your consultants, your IT staff, or your accidental techie before you make any changes. Because if by not talking to them, it can be problematic and can cost the organization a lot of money and time down the road. If you have some, a lot of times organizations do is they have some of these satellite switches throughout the organizations or some electronic devices in the organization. And if you're not aware of what these devices are used for, then it's better if you just leave it plugged in rather than trying to unplug it. I have a situation with a client where they thought a switch didn't mean anything, and they unplug it, and then they plug in a paper shredder, and then that shuts down the whole network. So these are things that you need to be very careful with. A lot of times you could do or research a lot of problems by going Google. You just Google it and find out what the problems, especially with error messages. You could just go Google and then find out what those error messages are.